It's September 4th, 2021, Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. Now, I'm watching this gentleman, and what looks like he has a fighting like lion up on his shirt. He's called Bobby, Bobby. Now, I know of this type of family member of mine personally. I know that they have fabulous, luxurious lives where like they just take a bicycle and they'll go island hopping and they'll survey the lands on bicycle, and they keep a very fit, tight life. They've got these great groups of homogeneous species that they check in on, have these great philosophies and things. I don't live on an island that is this wonderful. I have a mixed, degrading population growing dangerously by nation in huge portions now, because I've got island hoppers on bikes that don't seem to get it in actuality and fuck everything up. So I just put up about the 1950s. Like, there was national security in New York. Arkansas was reporting in that they had national security guards back then in order to make sure that, because there's something with Brown versus Board of Education they're reporting in on. I can't get the straight facts, but it was something around 1957, something between the U.S. Supreme Court shitbags. Then Eisenhower got involved, another dirtbag, who then let them into the schools. Now, that was a problem because now you have to change the curriculum and the education because you can't teach the same subjects in the same manner when you integrate new populations into the ancestors' sacred space. So now we got a big fucking problem. So federal got involved, U.S. got involved, some of the shitbag, like, Windsor kids just sat around plucking, like, hairs off their moles, I guess. I have no fucking clue. But I really don't see any integration that's been successful and useful at any level. In fact, they've retracted to more island hopping and ignoring completely their responsibility to step in and help me get the fuck off of this island. See how he has this?
Contests of strength featuring specially reared goats have long been a major entertainment on Tadama.
Wherever this is, there's a goat. I showed Anthony. He just laughed like a consumer. But the goat's name is Cool Kid. But it's what the man says in translation on the bottom that I appreciate. Here's the thing. There's a philosophy that goes with this and the treatment of humans and animals. I totally agree. Because it's one bicycling lion that looks over and watches to make sure that everyone's cared for in the situation. But he bikes through the island and then he goes on to the next island. And it's like a caretaker of an estate. Where I have a problem is when they try to take this philosophy and then mix it with other genetics, where now no longer are these particular ancestors safe. Not mine, not theirs. Because now they're changing the population and they're introducing different situations that now certain philosophy that things were based off of can no longer work in actuality. And it seems like someone is pushing to keep breaking stuff.
These are big events. The whole island turns up, and they attract tourists too.
My island doesn't look like this. Out east it does, but not towards the city.
He's raised many champion goats.
Some pretty tough looking goats out here. Whoa. ここですね。
This is Cool Kid, the strongest goat on the island. This powerful animal weighs over 70 kilograms and boasts a fine pair of horns.
Notice two things. The name Cool Kid, but their weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, is in something called kilograms, K-I-L-O-G-R-A-M-S. Where I am, in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, the weight is not kilograms. The metric system's completely different. It's in pounds, which I know can sometimes get confusing because where they have weight in kilograms, their currency sometimes is pounds. So that linguistically gets very confusing. Also, with the horn, there is a spiral. There is a spiral nature to the way that it was grown, which on a goat, that's just the way that it is. But in certain area, dangerous science and philosophy, it is not supposed to grow in a spiral fashion this way. This is when this word pairing is referenced, it is not always of honor and valor. It sometimes is indicative of almost like that spiral and the fracture, which would cause an even bigger issue. So I know that pointing out the intricacies and delicacies of knowledge of different language and system is important when referencing based on what I have going on in the U.S.A and I being U.Z.Z.A.
Whoa.
Goats need special training to do well in the contest. Goats naturally compete like this to establish rank in the herd. The art of the goat master is to cultivate this natural power.
Wow. Did not expect to see this here today. お父さんのヤギはどんなヤギですか？どんなピンだ？
おとなしい国だ。
でもいざとなった時は
強い。一緒にも可愛がってるから。可愛がらんと強くならんよ。人を怖がるヤギは絶対かなわんよ。
And this
自
is
分の子供みたい
and
な可愛がる。
this is Japan world is what it says.
Oku
Cycle
Hina was
around
very young when
Japan.
he lost his father, and from age 10 he worked to contribute.
This
to
was the
family
Japan that
finances.
I was used to, but I've had people beseech me to my face, so it gets confusing, and I don't like making a
から出て他のところには住んだことがない。
declaration if I'm uncertain.
そうなんです。
生まれ自慢だからもう楽しいよ。みんなとね、会話する。やはり楽しい。一番楽しい。
I know some people grew up on bicycles, and this, like, to not be able to do this is like you telling them they can't breathe. I did not have this affinity for a bicycle my entire life. I just, in this acclimate of where I'm being held in New York, the body doesn't electrolyte this way, where it's an enjoyable motion. It's not built or set up. I have adipose and prose issue, PROSE issues. So it's very difficult to do a lot of things that I would have enjoyed had I not had to wear this outfit and get up.
Let's go up to the top. Oh man. Taramajima, 360 degrees. Woo!
So we should still share degrees.
Here,
Thank
Bobby's
you.
trip comes to a close.
Spent 3 days cycling through the islands of Miyako, and it wasn't enough. Everyone we talked to had a really powerful sense of love for their home, for the island that is their home. That idea of not seeking happiness, not seeking something new and invigorating and exciting, being able to find contentment in the place where you come from, in the nature that surrounds you, in the people and the family and friends that you have there with you. They're the kind of person who can enjoy and be satisfied and feel contented.
Monogram.
with what they have in
Insignia.
their lives.
Emboss.
From one day to the next, life on these islands flows on, untroubled, carefree, and contented.
Now here's the thing. I know for people like Bobby, it's really hard to know, like, when you get to know somebody and see somebody in their natural habitat and environment, it's one thing. But then you throw a whole bunch of that scenario. This one's fine on this island, this one's fine on this island, this one's fine on this island. I get along with all of them when cycling. They're respectful of me, I'm respectful of them. I don't, right. It's not intrusive, you're not leaving fumes, you're not leaving a carbon footprint of, you're not taking from them, you're just observing and caretaking and whichever. Problem is when they have ancestors that take part in this new age problem that we're having and experiencing with humans, and they all congregate and like descend upon one epicenter, which looks like New York as far as I'm concerned, and then start to spread out. And it's not necessarily these island people, but there are several different archipelago children and areas that then have mainland populations. And with this explosion of electricity and communication, and then personal numbers, and then money markets, and then phlebotomy, and blood banking, and then linguistical integrations, then computer integrations, then pharmaceutical and chemical sales. It has been such a disgusting assortment of planetary issues while I'm being held in a sheetrock prison, for lack of a better term, in some itemized ROR that is absolutely disgusting, because I don't even know what that means to human. I don't. I know you wrote it somewhere. For us, it's a machine read, then it's a pause, and then it's a machine read again for forensics at like deep volcanic, like, forensics. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I have no emboss, I have no insignia, I have no family. They exist somewhere in the machine. I just have no access to them. It's September 4th, 2021.